Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey. Good to be back here. Do you enjoy your break?
Uh,
You missed
I
me.
guess it was
Know.
fine. Yes.
Yes, of course. Well, it's good to be back, though, and, after about half an hour here or so, and casting some more on. So, anyways, Complexity and Mystery Gang. One other thing I actually found interesting, too, Complexity, actually, they're one of two teams, them and Sync Esports, that have not actually lost a series yet here in these group stages. They've split a couple of series, including against Sync Esports, for that matter. But they have actually not lost a Series 0-2. So, looking to not start that here by any means. But Mystery Gang, again, they're coming off the loss to Sync Esports, but we know that this has definitely been a very solid team here in this event. So, anyways, the initial draft has taken place, so let's start getting into that. Puppet Master, Parasite, Warbeast, and Behemoth were the bands. We had Moira into Midas, Swiftblade into Magnus, Bubbles into Ravener coming out. So, what do you make of these picks and bands here?
I know Baba Ganoush likes Moira a lot, and now he's drafting as well, so I'm not surprised to see him first picking the Moira. I know Gisman plays really good Midas, so that Midas first pick also makes sense, although I think with the Magnus second pick it's gonna be a Midas suicide. The Midas is pretty decent against Moira because you can disjoin the Moira Q, so it's harder to kill the Midas with the Moira setting up, although you still have the mana burn, so that's something. Also Midas is alright against Swiftblades on the lane itself, it's harder to kill. Once again, it's a leap, escape, whatever you wanna call it. They picked Ravener, which is also Canon Dwarfs, one of his signature heroes. I don't see... Okay, it's only the one ban. I would like to see Forgotten One banning some Ravenor counters.
Okay.
Although, I'm not sure if Complexity... Like, basically one of the heroes I'm looking at is Deadwood. It's really good against Ravenor. The ulti goes through Shrunken Head. And deals quite a lot of damage because, obviously, Ravener is a strength hero. But to pick Deadwood, they either need to have a Bubble Suicide, which I don't like, or a Swiftblade Suicide, and that makes Formless playing Deadwood. Which,
not the usual.
Yes. So probably the option would be Bubble Suicide, or Deadwood Suicide. But then once again, they don't have to pick a Deadwood, they can pick Arachne as well. That's more likely, Swiftblade Suicide, Arachne short lane. That's still not a Formless hero.
Arachne? Huh.
Yeah, Arachne is really good against Ravenor, mainly the Spider. The ulti is a minus 8% movement speed, which is really good against Ravenor.
Yeah.
Thinking about other counters. I mean, Pharaoh is alright. Legionnaire can be alright with barbed armor, I guess. But the main two heroes which come to my mind are Deadwood and Arachne. Mostly Deadwood because I like Arachne is a fine hero, but I just feel like Deadwood is a much better hero. But then once again, I'm not sure if Complexity plays those, but would have been smart to ban those heroes. I feel like. Doctor and Tremble are also decent bans, I guess. I don't really. Yeah, Tempest is fine. I don't have a Tempest canceller, I guess, and Baba Ganoush banned Andro. So that's one less Tempest canceller. So I guess if they're afraid of Tempest, then go for it. Now I definitely think Complexity usually plays junglers, but from what I've seen, nowadays they started doing dual support lineups. So I'm not sure where this is gonna go. For the old Complexity, I would definitely see like either Ophelia or a Legionnaire getting picked up. Legionnaire wouldn't be a bad option, but I would wait for it because Hellborn can steal a man up, and it would result in pretty weak lanes. Although you can still dodge lanes with putting bubbles short lane and stuff like that. If you wanna play that game, all right, they go for the Ophelia.
Man, Ophelia even still there. That's pretty crazy, but.
Alright, so the way this game is gonna look like, if Legion takes map control, which they definitely can do with Ophelia, then Ravenor is pretty bad, because Ravenor requires huge amount of space for the charges. So if you don't have the space, then Ravenor is not going to be effective. But if it gets to, let's say, mid-late game and both teams are even, I can see the Hellborn team winning it.
Yeah.
That's how Ravenor works. But if Legion team is snowballing, it's going to be really hard for Hellborn, despite of having Magnus and Midas being pretty good against push. And it's probably Bubbles mid solo, which I don't like that much.
But Fuzzy Sloth does play a pretty mean Bubbles.
Actually,
so.
it could be Bubbles against Midas, 1v1.
Mm-hmm.
For a second, never mind, it's gonna be Magnus. Midas is suicide. The question is if they pick dual supports and a Luna is mid, for example, boxing out the Bubbles, then I think it's bad. Or they pick a jungler and then leave Bubbles 1v1. Okay, it's a Bubbles suicide. Well, I dislike it even more, but... Glady, I like Glady a lot here. And
Okay.
I know that sounds crazy. It's really good here to set up ganks. And they have a Moira. So Glady, what's it called? Showdown? Yeah, Showdown into Pitfall into Moira. Illusion is really good for setting up ganks. That's the only reason. But I mean, they also have a good combination: Bubbles ulti and Glady ulti. And just generally, Glady's really underrated here, and I feel like it should be picked up much more. And they go for the Cthulhu Fount. Now this could be aggressive jungle, and lane aggressive. We will see what they end up doing.
So Complexity, they do have a little bit of history running the Gladiator. Formless, they made the point that he likes running it. So
actually, it's Glady short lane and Bubbles mid.
So it's going to be Fuzzy Sloth and Bubbles, and then Oscar Jan's played. Yeah.
That I don't like that much, but that's just personal opinion. That Glady shouldn't be played as a hard carry.
Yeah.
It's still good against heroes like Midas, especially with Moira. Like the leap kinda. It's really hard to play against the Glady short lane because, you know, even though we have a leap or escape, the Glady still has the showdown. So it makes it hard for the suicides. But I don't know. It's much better to have a 3-plate suicide though, this game, than a bubble suicide. I definitely hate bubble suicide. Just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Ophelia is getting boots first. So he's expecting a man up, and Cthulhu is getting boots first as well. So I would say that's a man up as well. And I would assume he's not alone. So Aluna is gonna help him out. And then I would say that Aluna is much stronger than Moira in that situation, at least early on. So it'll be interesting to see. Not sure who's long lane though. Could be Ravenor or could be Magnus. I would say Midas is most likely mid.
Just looking at the players, yeah, Just-Man mid, you got Akuma.
Oh yeah, Just-Man's playing. Yeah.
Yeah, on Magnus,
yeah.
It's probably going to be long, yeah.
Yeah. But then it's 1-1 against the Struth Blade with a Ravenor. Which I'm not sure if... I mean, it's... Not sure how that matchup goes. I don't think that's highly in Ravenor's favor. I think Magnus will do much better because of the splash. But yeah, that's a Magnus one up just by looking at his items. Or yes, probably.
Very likely. Mystery Gang, though. Look at this path, though, they're choosing. They're actually going down the middle lane right here.
You think they're gonna do Kongor?
No, there's no way. They wouldn't do Kongor, would they?
They have 3 melees, they can't.
Yeah, that would... That's probably not going to happen. That would not have worked out too well, because you do see complexity in the area. They would have very likely scouted it anyway. So, and speaking of scouting, actually, what you got gets some decent information right there. Sees a couple coming in, and we could have a clash.
Yep.
They're running blindly uphill. A little risky, but no, complexity doesn't want to fight, though.
I mean, I think Hellborn is way stronger level 1. Although they still have Cthulhu, but Cthulhu can scale stun.
Yeah.
At the same time, enemy has, or Legion has Ophelia, which is also technically almost useless.
And you know, look at Cthulhu actually. He actually did level up the stun without even using it. Yeah.
Okay, so this can go 2 ways now. They're gonna try to grab a kill really badly, or I mean, he can leech XP. He can pull the wave into jungle.
Okay.
Interesting. They also devoured, if you see Forgotten One, they devoured that place. I think they placed that ward because Legion backed off really smartly and fast, so I assume that they had a ward there. Probably, you know, to skill stun, and was like, they backed off. They couldn't get the kill.
Yeah, you see them trying to gank middle too, but they're literally sitting right on top of the ward. So, not going to work out too well here, and you can tell Baba Ganesh knows as far as their positioning. So,
Complex is laning it really smart though. They're dodging the Cthulhu with the Ophelia, and they don't know that on the Hellborn side, so probably Ravenor could die to Ophelia gank really easily. So that means Fullblade can win that lane. And Bubbles is facing a possible man-up, which is not a man-up anymore because they rotated. But would have been good. And the Gladi is fine dual mid, so it's fine. Fine for them.
Yeah.
Also really good to set up Ophelia ganks once again because I mean, for a Midas it's different, but support can easily die to a Showdown, Pitfall into Minotaur, for example. There's no way you survive that. So yeah. Cthulhu is gonna pull now, I assume, because he's level 1 and has no hook him.
Yeah, not the prettiest start for Callum right here. He has been playing a very good elephant here throughout these group stages we have noticed here with Mystery Gang, so looking forward to that again here. But yeah, going that trample before a fight really took place, definitely a little bit of a miscue on his part. He's feeling it, but he is going to do that pull that you're talking about. I also want to talk about the Gladiator real quickly, too, for a second. You know, again, the complexity, they have done this every now and then. Formless has made the point he likes to play it in more of that short lane carry. I will say, as far as this build, I believe he does still go the Assassin Shroud, but he does like to pass up the Rift Shards, though. He actually goes more of the Frostburn style instead, more of the combat there. Not necessarily going for the all-out burst with this build.
I think that's fine. I'm not the biggest Gladi player, and if I played Gladi, I would most likely play it in a rather second core / utility way than a hard carry way. But Frostburn doesn't seem like a bad option. Are you sure he doesn't go Rift Shards at all?
In the couple of times I've seen him play it, I don't think he goes Rift Shards until like maybe late game.
Yeah, like one of the last items, because it's still a really good item.
Yeah. Still good to have eventually, but yeah, no, it definitely is not the Assassin Shroud into Rift Shards build that it seems like a lot of people do prefer. Meanwhile, Ophelia actually getting caught here by Cthulhu Fawn initially, but actually they could have possibly looked to turn right there, but Ophelia decided best to keep running despite the Shards of Harkon being applied. So bottom lane, Magnus actually just about died. He was one auto attack away from death, but in the end he did survive, and now Fuzzy Sloth, the one that might be in a little bit of trouble. Top lane, no, not enough action up there. But you just see Luna here at the bottom lane. She's kind of moving up a little bit. The Forgotten One. We'll see if Fuzzy Sloth has forgotten about her or not. Needs to be careful right here as far as the combo goes. They're creeping up. Here we go. Bubbles knows something's up. Just a matter of does he play this appropriately. There's the initial lead stun. He's going to shell surf away, though. He got stunned. He could have poured with it. Well played right there. And Fuzzy Sloth will fall, so Magnus gets the bloodlust. Meanwhile, top lane, Oscar picks up the kill just shortly after.
That's predicted with Ophelia gank.
Yeah.
And now Ravenor is 190 GPM. And Swiftblade has boots and gonna have Ghost Marcher soon. And gonna hit level 6. It's gonna be really hard for the Ravenor.
And middle lane, Cthulhu Fawn comes into assist. That was a good setup initially by Midas, and then Cthulhu Fawn followed it up with the stun. So Formless gets picked off as Moira happened to be going for the rune control. She got a haste rune, but unfortunately couldn't get back in time. Ended up being just good timing.
Bubbles bought something, and he had no TP gold, so he walked to bot lane. So I missed some XP as well, so that's not good for complexity.
Yeah. Swiftblade is having a decent time, though, at the top lane. 320 gold per minute about Midas. Getting a little bit more pressure, but he's going to be fine. Midas is overall leading the GPM charts, but still very early on in the game at only 5 minutes right here. You do see Ophelia trying to harass a little bit at the top side, but not in the greatest position to do so. Kind of behind the creep lane right here. Also does have more up there for a possible opportunity. But yeah, I also like what you said about the Gladiator Moira combination too. That's true with the Arcane Vortex. It definitely could set up a very easy call to arms.
Oh, that
from
too.
Gladiator.
I was more thinking about setting up ganks early on. But like in this situation they are laning together. But it's more like setting up the Ophelia ganks, but it's hard on a Midas. But would have been definitely possible on the support. And he's maxing the Q. I mean, it's not bad. Not sure what most Gladi players max.
Yeah.
I would definitely not max the passive. I think only a few points is enough.
Oh man, they're really trying to gank this Bubbles, by the way, at the bottom lane. They didn't really have the greatest execution, though, and Aluda's going to get picked off. They were trying to tower dive him. It was a good idea, but Fuzzy Slot did a pretty good job of avoiding death right there. Magnus, though, in the meantime, he is going to be able to lava surge away from Ophelia, and ultimately will survive unless Gladiator, no, he decides to turn around. Not worth the chase right there. He bottled up an Invis rune, by the way. I don't know if he's going to be able to make use of that or not right here or not, but we'll see.
Play it.
Ooh, that could have been an opportunity. Yeah, you can see Cthulhu knows he needs to be careful. And he is fine, though. Level 6 Oscar, though. And he's going to use it right there. Luna just walked right into him. That's the last thing you want to do.
That could be a counter kill on Swiftblade. Actually, Cthulhu has no mana.
No.
Actually, he has Blood Chalice. If Ravenor casted a ball.
There we go, the ball lightning. It is going to connect. He does have a TP coming in, though, from Bubbles. There's a Kelfield Song of the Sea. Not enough to save Swiftblade, but it will be enough to set up a counter kill, at least on Cthulhu Font. So, big picture, it is a 2-for-1 exchange for the Legion side.
I got a question, though, Cannon Dwarf. He could have ball lightninged way earlier.
Yeah.
That was all Cthulhu setting up in a max range stun. Which was, if he misses that stun with activating the Blood Chalice, he could even, possibly die. Well, he died anyways, because the Midas TP'd.
The Bubbles,
but, I don't know, that was such an easy ball lightning, because Swift was spinning on him. He just walks next to him, and when the spin is over, he just stuns, and then Cthulhu can easily hit the stun. And they just kill him next to the creep wave. Midas has no time to TP.
Speaking of Midas middle lane, Midas is going to be picked off right there. Good coordination. There's that combo of the showdown into the pitfall.
Yep.
Coming out from Gladiator. Easily does enough damage. Yeah, you mentioned maxing out that pitfall. Proving to work pretty well right there, at least.
Yep. I'm interested to see if he's gonna max the passive or the W after. He's definitely gonna max the passive after, but just putting few points in the W's is alright because of the extra range. I don't think he's gonna do that, but if you're thinking about smoking, for example, just a side note, smoke has 1 point. I'm not even sure what's the range of smoke. I can check it maybe.
Bottom lane, by the way. There is a chance to try to jump right here. The trample initially missed. The showdown, though, the pitfall combo will connect to the Midas. Morris is alive, and now Midas being turned on completely. He's very likely going to fall. Trample going to miss once again. Magnus will finally secure the kill, but now he's committed right here. They do not have a stun for him, though. He TP's out. Well played by Okami right there, able to get away, but the pitfall lands on Cthulhu Fun as he was in mid-trample animation. Double tap for what you got as a result on Ophelia. So again, long run, definitely working out for complexity right there.
So back to my point, smoke is 1k range, and if you want to have a smoke gank king Gladi, setting up ganks with Gladi, then putting a few points on the W for extra range is better, because then you can actually almost show down someone out of smoke without them reacting, so that's a free kill. But obviously that's not the game plan for them, and that's just a really extreme situation.
Bottom lane, eruption,
Yep.
initiation right here. No, it got
Whoa.
canceled, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At least for the kill on Ophelia. Happened, I believe that was a Skulta King stop right there, so good reaction for what you got, but still obviously not enough. Middle lane bubbles. No, he's fine. It's away there, so. The early Ghost Marchers, though, on Gladiator here.
Yep.
And going to continue to farm with the jungle for now.
Do you know if he's going for Helm usually?
I don't think so. I think he does go straight into the Assassin Shroud, to be honest, but
Okay, sure.
we'll see.
I'm just asking because I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen it, but I don't remember what's built in it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see what he does go for here. But if he was going to Helm, you figure maybe he would have the life too by now. So
Yeah, I'm just because Helm is decent on Gladiator, especially with Blood Chalice.
yeah,
But he has the ball already. Just the way Blood Chalice works, you lose HP obviously, but if you get a health regen item like Helm or even Astrolabe, obviously Glad is not gonna get an Astrolabe, but for some other heroes, just think about Slap's Tempest build with Blood Chalice Astro.
yeah.
It's a good combination. Having a health regen item. With
I does think that goes back to the how they like to play it though. They definitely like to play more of the actual hard carry. So tends to build more of a little bit more farm heavy.
Rune decks.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. I don't know if we're gonna see that here, but well, he does get the life too. Okay.
That's probably a Rune decks though.
It
you're
might
right.
be, yeah.
But no, like I can see definitely Helm. Especially if they would group up with Ophelia. But the more I think about it and how he plays, it's gonna be a Rune decks.
Yeah, nice combo right there once again.
Yeah.
Obviously Formless on top, and there you go. The Mana 2 purchase. So Sustainer going to be finished, and yeah, very likely Rune Cleaver here. Coming out from Formless. What?
I mean, that's also Mana Regen, and they have the Ophelia Mana Ring as well. So.
What do you think about it, though, the Rune Cleaver on Gladiator?
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. At the same time, I have no experience playing Gladi, and as I said, I would play it in a different role.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fine if they get map control and they're gonna outfarm everyone with the Gladi. At the same time, fighting items might be easier. But if it works, then it works.
That was funny. Five players all TP down here. The Arcane Vortex, he just put it out, and they just ran away. And they all got caught in it.
Yep. I mean,
they got the tower kill.
This was a kind of obvious play, but
yeah,
that's when experience kicks in.
Yep.
The Hellborn team shouldn't do such moves. At least they should set up, but it's really hard because they don't have a PK, and then I don't know, like Magnus should have PK soon, but I mean he has alright farm. Still feel like he should be closer to his PK, like 12 minutes in against the solo bubbles.
1,300 gold here, so yeah, he's trying. It is getting there, but
he went for a bubble, so I mean,
yeah,
I guess it's fine.
A little bit early items here. Implementer totems. Middle tower though is going to be pushed in, so just like the bottom tower, back-to-back tower kills for complexity, and the lead kind of growing a little bit. 3,000 gold lead now. What would you like to see on Ravener? Speaking of him, next, you got the Abyssal Skull. Do you like that the Thunderclaw, or would you rather see maybe a straight portal key here?
I don't think he needs to peek it that badly if Magnus gets one, and Cthulhu is also gonna get one. Although it does help. Yeah, it does help though, especially when they're going for peekouts, and I don't think they're gonna team fight this team. Lightning, I'm not sure. He could go for a Dawnbringer, for example. Which I'm not sure how many Raveners you have seen. I'm not sure what people usually build.
The Thunderclaw seems like it's pretty popular.
Yeah, I get that.
So.
I guess that could be the case. I know how it works. Like as far as I know, you gain charges from the lightning as well.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good combination. I just don't wanna. I feel like if they get into farming mindset, that could backfire on the Hellborn team, because Legion's definitely gonna look for fights. I feel like with the Ophelia, although it's a Rune Cleaver.
Yeah,
ready, so.
that kind of goes back to
But
that.
what
though.
do I know? But I don't think that favors them if they go in a farm war.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna go for a PK though. And that would be a safe bet as well, because he can make his own plays then. Pretty much Raven or Cthulhu Magnus, two of those heroes, any of those two, together can kill anyone, so they can just move around the map and get pickoffs. The Lightning is fine as well, I guess, for farming, but I just don't think he's gonna have that much pace. At least right now. And right now, Mora is Invis.
Oh yeah.
Trying to... Yeah, they're gonna probably kill that guy.
Oh, they're setting up.
Baus is a PK, by the way. I'm not sure if it was mentioned or not. So.
No, it wasn't. And yeah, he is heading up here right now with that. So this is definitely a big chance if he farms this creep. Yeah, he is, and because he has no clue, and there's no reason for him to think that that would be the case. There comes the opener. 4 players are ultimately going to be on top of him. And even 5. I mean, even Gladiator was there. So all of a sudden, Ravener's just like, well, team, they're all on me. Farming his own jungle.
One weakness of Ravener is that if you die, you lose all your charges.
Yep.
It's kind of like an Empire. If you die, then you need some time to recover. Because obviously the Empire has the sense as well.
Yeah. Look at this. They were actually trying to set up in the middle lane, maybe catch them off guard, but that Warder Rev actually spotted them. And now they're in trouble. Ravener's not here, remember, but Swiftly going to be jumping and make that now a 4 versus 4 off the bat. But here comes that Pitfall Showdown. Will catch Cthulhu call to arms going through as well, and down goes Cthulhu. So yeah, the Hellborn team thinking it's best not to really commit after that especially.
Still good, and we've seen the Magnus Cthulhu PK doing work already. Super dead for Cthulhu, which is definitely worth for the Hellborn team. Just looking at the GPMs and XP numbers. But also obviously it's a core for a jungler. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, see Gladiator trying to farm up a little bit in the middle lane. Might is making this somewhat difficult, but in the end he does have his rune cleaver now. Buys a second broadsword, so that's going to be finished here. Well, but Moira getting caught meanwhile. However, the Astral APL and the stun happens. Able to run away with that. So that was just the illusion of Luna that wasn't up there, so a little bit more reason why she lived. But
so what I would like to see is Legion team warding up aggressively. And they already have one ward in jungle. I don't feel like that's enough. But that's a good start. And possibly killing the Raven a few more times and then getting back control. But I'm not sure when they're gonna try to make the move, because Glady went for Rune Dex, so I'm assuming he's gonna farm a little bit more. So I'm not sure what their timing is. They do have 2 cores in the end, but I feel like it's... They don't really have a team against Ravener, and I feel like Ravener is a hero which you need to... It's kind of like a Clanks or Doctor or Oogie. You need to have something against it, because if you don't... Because if you don't have any heroes to counter, so to speak, then it can get out of control. So yeah.
But I mean that does go back to you right with the kind of the 2 carry options, you know, with both Gladiator and Swiftblade. But both of them are seeming like they're building a little bit more the farming route to an extent. Well, we'll see what Oscar goes for next. But if he goes something like a Firebrand, then you know that will be more of a farming route here.
I mean, it's pretty much only one build for Swiftblades. I mean, you can get the PK, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah. Whether you get
PK wouldn't be too bad actually. They also lack initiation, kinda. They don't have a bubbles, but that's gonna be kinda weak after Ravener gets the Shrunken. But also to follow up the bubbles, the PK Swiftblade will be good. Be easy to gank the Ravener. But yeah, he bought something, I think. I might be wrong.
Ravener bought a Thunderclaw here.
No, I'm talking about Swiftblade. Like,
Swiftblade, what did he buy?
Is it the major totem is Swiftblades?
It looks like it, yeah. So Energizer.
Yeah. Also, Midas got a PK, and Randall got a Duncrow. Okay. I mean, now that the game is this passive, actually bot lane.
Nah, just the illusion.
That's the illusion. Okay. Now the game is this passive, then Duncrow makes more sense. I just really hope that he's gonna get a Shrunken and PK in time. Before a bigger fight's gonna happen. Because he's gonna need a shrunken against the bubbles because you don't wanna get stuck in one place when you have haste movement speed.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, it does help against Gladi as well. It removes the showdown, or you don't like you can get pulled back. But the Gladi ulti goes full shrunken.
Bottom lane, swift play. No, the Arcane Vortex going to stall that actually. I don't know if it's going to be enough for getaway. Well, to spin perhaps. The heal comes out. No, so Slash is going to be used. He doesn't have to spin up, but it's enough for the counter kill on a Magmus first. And now he's spinning 5 seconds, but still not going to be enough to get away. And it will be the 1-for-1 exchange. But the fact that he got a kill out of that, pretty big news for him right there. Meanwhile, Cthulhu Fun thinks about chasing. He will jump Ophelia. The Portkey's coming into play. Pitfall lands. Call to Arms is coming out. But the Legion team, oh, even the Kelfield's used right there, but not really committing the most. The charges on Ravener are definitely there. Choosing not to fight it in the end. So, yeah, good choice to fall back, I'm pretty sure, from Complexity.
Yeah, and now, like, Complexity is not snowballing at all. And if this keeps happening, like, Hellbound is a really good pick-off team. They have Magmus PK, Midas PK. They have they have only 3 PKs. Ravener doesn't have a PK yet. But he's gonna get one eventually. So they have a really good pick-off team. And if they're not grouping up, this is gonna happen. And they're not taking map control. So Ravener has as much space as he wants. Meanwhile, they're farming on 2 cores, Swiftblade and Gladi. And neither of those has really amazing farm.
Bubbles.
And Ravener's just gonna...
He's dead.
Ravener's just gonna get out of control soon. With the Tunnel Crew especially. So this is not good for Complexity. Well, it seems pretty even. I feel like it's much worse than it seems like. Because as I said, they need to take map control against Ravenor. That's how you beat Ravenor. You just starve Ravenor. When Ravenor can't gain charges, then the hero's garbage.
Yeah.
But if the hero has max charges constantly, then it's really good. And now, right now they're allowing to play, you know, them to play Ravenor how it's supposed to be played. And Morris invis again. Okay.
So good rune control coming out from Baba Ganoush right here. He's going to sit on top of Ravener. Last time this happened, they got the easy kill.
Glad is
the
nearby.
idea.
And
Yeah.
Super is smoking. Glad is not smoking. I think it's going to be fine though.
He's going the wrong direction. So yeah, he kind of realizes now, I think, but he's going to get caught here. The stun's going to happen. Mana Center on top of that. Swift Slash is going to be used. And not enough for the kill initially, but Gladiator should be able to secure it as he does right there. Cthulhu runs in the pitfall, or excuse me, the call to arms. It didn't actually hit Cthulhu, but it is giving his team the buff in the meantime. And down goes the Elephant, but now that buff is wearing off. Midas coming in to clean up on a Moira. See the lockdown on the swim play, but more supporting cast is here. Midas now in trouble by himself all of a sudden, and he will end up falling. Double tap for Fuzzy Sloth there on Bubbles.
Okay. So that Ravenor was definitely dead, and I saw Cthulhu running, and I was really hoping that he doesn't blink in, try to save the Ravenor, but he did. And that was a misplay. But then Magmus and Midas decided to go in as well. That was a bit of throw.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna take top tower, and well, Moira is dead with the ward, so he's not gonna ward up the jungle. But hopefully he's gonna do it soon, and he has a PK really soon. He's 1.9k gold. And Moira with PK is amazing. Moira without PK is amazing as well. But with the PK, it's just a whole new level.
Just even easier positioning.
No, just like you can also initiate with the hero and everything becomes easier.
True. Very true. Yeah, that's considers the fact that you know, I actually kind of a little bit off topic, but how excited are you for the Merrick's Bounty, the new item to actually be introduced in tournament rules?
You're talking to the right person.
Yeah, well, actually, hold that thought for a second, because we definitely have a big fight coming out right here. Magmus, he's looking to jump in. They jumped Cthulhu initially, but the Hellborn team, they want to commit to a fight themselves now. Bubbles up, Portkey away, and they're not going to get anything out of it in the end, so good job by Complexity getting out of there after getting involved initially.
So, do you know anything about Merrick's Bounty getting released? Or just ask
no, I don't know for certain. I assume
okay.
for the next season it should be out, to be honest, but I don't know for certain. So
okay, I talked to some players, and there are definitely players who dislike the item in the scene. I personally think it's a great item. It's probably a bit overpowered right now, so
Okay.
probably needs a bit of balance. But it's a great idea, and definitely, I mean, I'm a bit biased, but like in a team who usually runs dual supports, it's a great item, obviously, because obviously a dual support team would benefit more from that item than a jungler team, because then you have two guys picking up that item, for example, or
Yeah.
yeah, makes second supports much more viable. But yeah, I think it's definitely too strong right now. You get way too much gold. That's my first impression, is at least.
Okay.
I talked with Rude about it today, and he said it would have been fun if the item gave like extra gold for kills as well. I think that's kind of a crazy idea, but yeah, he prefers to be.
They would encourage a little more action. I can
Yeah.
see the idea there. Yeah. Be interesting.
But-
I just think the idea of more gold in general, especially on a support here, I just think would be fun and
Yeah,
for the
but
benefit of the game. But
at the same time, you have to think about balance, and like the main reason why you pick up support is to win lanes.
yeah,
In the meantime, jungle is
yeah,
obviously
we do
more
a
gold than
fight
XP.
here. It is going to be
Yeah.
a 1-for-1 exchange. Is it going to be further? It looks like it. Kelfield going in. Not the greatest follow-up, though, but Pitfall, no, the portal key. Well played by Magnus. He kind of realized there he really had to take the Kelfield stun, which he did. Meanwhile, Mori getting locked down. Magnus goes back in, but at what cost here? The Swift Slash is bouncing around for Swiftblade. Ravener down to half-life already. Eruption being channeled by Magnus, but now Complexity. It's their turn to start falling back, apparently, as they will. Call to arms still on cooldown here for Gladiator.
Yes,
So
no
chance
spin.
to use that. No spin,
Nice.
but it doesn't matter. Or
Oh.
maybe it will. Ball Lightning is going to port with it. No, he is not. Oscar almost trying to bait him into it, but good patience there at least. So another back and forth battle here in these two teams.
I mean, actually, Gladiator has really good farm. I wasn't paying too much attention what he did.
Yeah, the
he got
Shrine
few-
now.
He has few kills, I guess. I'm not sure how he got that much farm.
Rune Cleaver as well as the kills he's been involved in as Swiftblade obviously gets picked off there, committing to a kill on a Luna. So the one
I mean, it's rather Ravenor being underformed. Like, he has good creep kills, I guess, but he just died 3 times and hasn't been that much involved.
Yeah, he did eventually get the portal key, and that does go back to the logic. I mean, the portal key's still good on it, but you got a Midas, a Cthulhu Fall, and a Magnus all with portal
No,
keys
I think
already.
it's great. You can just
Okay.
follow up. I think it's like at one point when you have like there's a point when more PKs are better. Like the more PKs you have, the better it is. If you have like a 5-man PK team, it's just really powerful
Okay.
because you can just instantly burst down one guy. But that's just the nature of Raven, how it should be played. It just PKs on the most important targets and chases it down. Also easier to hit the ball lightning. Obviously it is with the setup stuns they have, but and I think it's great. He just needs a Shrunken really badly, I feel like. And I'm not sure what he's gonna get after Shrunken. Heart maybe? What do Raveners go for? Probably
Ravener,
hard.
as far as follow-up goes,
Yeah, like
It's-
I mean he's definitely gonna need a Shrunken. I'm gonna look at items.
yeah. It seems like Frostburn is honestly pretty popular on Raveners, too, in this case. Follow-up, but...
I think it's alright. I think Heart would be better, but I would have liked Frostburn instead of the Lightning. More like of a battle build, less
Okay.
farm build. But we'll see. He should definitely not go for Demonic. I've seen him on Ravenor playing going for Demonic. Like,
It's kind of silly.
he's all magic damage, so... I know it's good to have a Demonic and all, but please don't do it on Ravenor.
No, it's...
Cthulhu can get it if it's really needed. This
yeah,
game.
that or Magnus even, definitely. We've even seen it on, so... Assassin Shroud is going to be next in line for Gladiator, and I can't say too surprised on that one. Again, to prioritize the Shrunken
Yep.
Heavier first, which makes sense against this team, but...
Yep, definitely. And Swiftblade going for Firebrand, not for a PK.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's not having too much farm. I mean, he's only having like 90 creep kills. But I don't know, I feel like the sweep play and Moira and Bubble should make more plays. And would be easier with the aggressive wards and the PK on sweep play probably. But it's also rather like... Oh, I'm getting this first. It's rather that they are getting caught instead, the Legion team, instead of them getting kills. So yeah.
Ooh, big chance right here. Ravener, he's got a split from his team in the meantime. Papa Ganoush does get picked off, but I think it's killing Ravener definitely worth it. However, they're not going to. He does have good charges, by the way. Call to arms coming out. Meanwhile, Swift Slashes will tear through Cthulhu Flying, get the kill on him. But you do see Cannon Dwarf. He's still well alive, but so is Formless to an extent. He's going to pull back in a Luna right here and should be able to pick up an easy kill as he does. But now Formless dropping that call to arms buff wearing off right there. You could tell, and he eventually goes down. Ophelia now in trouble. She gets caught and eventually picked off on top of it. But yeah, they tried to catch the Ravener, but he did have a good amount of charges when they jumped him. And clearly it did not work out. So definitely a big one fight there for Mystery Gang. And this game just continues to be a very even one, man, at this point.
Also, PK on Ravenor, just one more reason. They have so many stuns. And like even though Legion's gonna pick up Shrunken, or like Gladdy picked up Shrunken, they're just gonna regroup, go out, and then when Shrunken runs out, they're gonna jump back again, and nothing they can do.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's why they won the team fight, but definitely PK on Ravenor is not bad. And now he's 500 GPM, and he's gonna get his next item soon. Oh, he got Shrunken. I didn't even mention that,
Yeah.
which was definitely a good pickup.
Yeah.
And now you think he's gonna go for Frostburn?
That seems to be a popular follow-up, yeah, but
I know.
safe here.
I know some people go for Genjo, but that's more like a last item, so I don't expect him to go for that.
Yeah.
But going for a Shroud could result in more pickups, possibly, if he wants to play that way. I won't say that he's gonna go for it, and I would go for that, but I know some players do it. But honestly, like a heart won't be too bad. I feel like it is just good amount of damage.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think, definitely bulks him up quite a bit. I mean, he's sitting at 2,200 life already, but, you know, that's been over close to 3K even, or if not over, so that would make him quite bulky there.
But honestly, I wouldn't go for Lightning, so I would just build around definitely, like, different. Like, I would go for a Frostburn, and then you can go for a Heart, or well, if you really want to go for a pick-off game, like kind of like a Puppet, just wander, going around in enemy jungle, then Shroud is alright.
Yeah.
Or there was one more item I was thinking about, but I forgot.
Brutalizer even, something like that, maybe.
Honestly, I'm not sure if no, Brutalizer. I know Instant Thirst is alright, but that's way too late now, and that's way different builds. That's like more like a fighting build, like super early. Oh, Frostfall's cool.
Okay.
Could be decent.
Yeah, that definitely wouldn't be out of the question either. Still needs that attack modifier, and kind of fits that idea of being a little bit bulky and also prevents him from kiting away. Meanwhile, the jump over here on Moira actually coming out. You see the Pitfall combo, though, but the Storm Spear going to prevent that from working. However, the Call to Arms will connect. Swift Slash is bouncing around, gets going through the bot, but now it's Ravener's turn. He jumps in. He is pretty good on the charges. Shrunken is up. He's chasing down Swiftblade. Not going to be nearly enough damage for the kill. Oh, but they get the stun off! After the fact, he stops spinning, and down falls Swiftblade. So Gladiator and Ophelia, they had ran away at that point. And another fight won here by the Hellborn side. Well, maybe not one, maybe more so an even exchange to an extent. But they did get the Kongor just before that, obviously, too. And Ravener has that token now to work with here. So, you know, I want to go back to the Swiftblade build real quickly. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it. I know this is definitely more complexity style here, you know, definitely competing for more of that later game, having a couple of carry options, but I really think the Portal Cube Brutalizer option would have just made so much more sense here.
No, like you have to ask yourself, what is Firebrand going to accomplish here?
Yeah.
And the way they would win this game is getting map control and pickups, mostly killing the Ravenor, reducing his charges that way, and getting towers and map control, not letting Ravenor farm. rather than going into a farm game. And like, is a Fireband gonna make him fight that much better against a Ravener who is 500 GP? I'm gonna like 5-shot him? Not really. Like, Swiftblade is almost a non-factor at this point already. Like, he's not a non-factor, but...
Okay, he actually does get the Brutalizer.
Yes, sure.
Alright. A little
I would
bit
still
of a
like...
fake.
I mean, PK at this point is still good, I feel like. But if he wanted to go for PK, he should have definitely gone for it earlier.
Yeah.
We'll see how the fights go. I don't feel like they're in a good spot.
Well, Ophelia getting caught here, by the way. Midas and Cthulhu Fawn, but the heal's coming out, keeping him alive for the time being. Midas going to end up falling, and Ophelia stays alive in the long run. And now Cthulhu Fawn, he's trying to run for survival. Should be able to. As, yes, he will portal key away. Ravener finds Swiftblade in the meantime. But Swiftblade actually decided his best to turn and run right there. 100 charge Ravener, probably the good decision.
Yeah, but the thing is with Brutalizer that it's good and everything, but he cannot man up on Ravener, on Swiftblade. So I'm kind of worried. Like, they definitely need some ways to kite the Ravener, and a good plan would be, for example, it's gonna be a lot on Moira. If he jumps and he gets a good initiation, then Moira ultis the Ravener aggressively, and then the Legion team kills, let's say, a Magnus and Midas instantly.
Yeah.
Then they have a good shot of winning the fight, just because it's gonna be like 3v5, and then they're gonna kite the Ravener. But it's gonna be hard. Once again, I think it goes back to Ravener being really strong when it's not getting addressed.
Wow.
And right now it's not getting addressed.
Ravener straight up purchases a full Dawnbringer. Didn't even build components to it. It's just like, I got 6,600 gold, I'm just going to right-click a Dawnbringer. So there you go. Yeah, it's...
No, I definitely see Ravener players going for Dawnbringer, but
yeah.
Sure.
It's just funny how he just right-clicked it. I love that.
Yep. But he has a token, though.
Yeah.
You have to remember that. So that's why he didn't have an item.
True.
I mean, he could have bought it in the base, but I mean... Technically, if he really wants to go for fancy plays, he can die twice. Once with the token, then die again. And then buy back post hits back. So he has 3 lives. But yeah, the reason why I didn't have a Dawnbringer is because he has a token. And now he has the courier.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's ferrying it over.
So he's gonna deliver it when he's gonna die.
Yeah, that's the idea. 40 seconds remaining on the token alive. There's the Rift Shards from Gladiator. I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised. It's not his usual, but anyways, jump coming out right here. Ravener dropping a half-life already. He does have some good charges. Remember, he has the token. It's almost as if he might not mind dying sooner than later here, especially to get the Dawnbringer, and it can very low on the timer, but this is an interesting spot because only 20 seconds now remaining on that. If you're Complexity, I kind of wonder if they're maybe picking up on that it may be actually very low right here.
They should have a Concord timer, so they should know.
Yeah, you figure that they maybe got
something.
They
caught Cthulhu Fan. This is a really good fight for them.
Yeah, are they going to get him? Wow.
Oh.
They're not even going to get
Glady?
him. They just didn't want to commit to a fire right there. They thought it might have been bait or something, so they fell back actually.
No, I think I think they just thought they couldn't kill him, and maybe they were right.
Yeah.
But if they know that token is out, and they can kill the Cthulhu Fan instantly, might be a good fight. But they're still really behind. Like this 3.5k XP lead and 700 gold lead, it's not like it's not as big on paper, but they really have a big lead on Hellborn side. I just feel like they can't address Ravener. Like there's no way they're gonna deal with the hero. Also, Midas has a sheepstick.
Coming down to Bubbles has a sheepstick as well, to be fair, but yeah, Midas having one, so both have.
Cthulhu has a stone split as well.
True.
And that's not the main reason. Once again, like they just can't kill Ravener. I feel like it's just a hasted hero who deals more damage than any of the cores on Legion.
Yeah.
And is more tanker as well, more mobile. I don't know.
As long as he has the charges, it will be very
difficult.
Of course.
But at this point, they have the charges. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
Because they have map control and everything.
Ooh, so
well, maybe not complete map control.
Gladiator, Rift Shards, it's going to be level 2 now. He purchases upgrade there, so he is... Maybe that's also the mentality that he's kind of had, that realize that Ravener is trying to pull really far ahead, so they're going to need a little bit of luck on their side as far as RNG is concerned. And get some big crits on him, perhaps. And that could be a difference maker, coming out of the Assassin's Shroud. Oh, top lane through the font now. Just some harassment right there. But
Also, Cthulhu fan got Boundai. I really like that. So now they're gonna get even more map control, at least plan to get more map control.
yeah,
And like I said, the way you deal with Ravenor, for example, is controlling the map and not letting him inform. And it's not ideal if Ravenor goes into an even game when you can't handle Ravenor. But when Ravenor is snowballing in you and he has the map control, it's even worse, obviously. But like that, then it's super bad. Because then he has constantly max charges and killing people left and right because, you know, here just PKs and stunts and two-shots people. So this is gonna be a really hard game for Complexity. Also, not to mention that Hellborn has the Kongor advantage. So if they push up lanes and just Boundai around Kongor, then Legion has to fight at Kongor without vision.
yeah.
Which is gonna be pretty bad against 4 PK heroes. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it goes back to
So,
that idea. A lot of jump.
If I had to bet, I would say Hellborn is gonna win this. I would say 90% chance. Not even
Okay.
kidding.
You're confident. You're confident right there.
Unless they throw, which could happen because they are not experienced. But
You
I would
really
assume
think
they
they're
will.
that far ahead?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't think they can handle Ravenor. They just didn't pick against it. And like the way of beating Ravenor was getting map control, and that didn't happen.
Okay.
And Glad is really not that great as a hard carry either. If it was a TDL, it would be a different game, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, you're not gonna believe me. I think Ravenor still can outcarry TDL easily. The scary part about TDL is the ulti, which is really strong late game. For example, against Magnus or Cthulhu fans who are like not getting Shrunken or any removal, so they are blind for a team fight, right? But yeah, that's about it. Like, they don't have a TDL, so it's pointless to discuss.
Well, no, it's that idea though that definitely, when it comes to the late game competition here, maybe not as strong. So Swiftblade top lane needs to be careful, and this is why. Oh, the ball lining actually missing right off the bat. So Ganondorf just kind of misjudging the angle right there. And now you see Moira's going to maybe chase a little bit with the illusion, but ultimately is killed off. So Mystery King, decision to make right here. They're going to at least push this secondary tower in. Whether or not they try to go for the base is another question. I would think they're probably going to want to wait for another Kongor here before they really try to break into the base.
They should.
Got that positioning, so might as well take advantage of it.
Also, Magnus has 3k gold, so he should get something before the base push. But I'm not even sure if they have to go for base. They can just outfarm them. Although, if you get the free token, why not go for the base? There's no reason to, you know, prolong the game, possibly throw it. But yeah, Magnus should definitely get something before they go for a base push, and they should go for a token. And I'm interested to see what Ravener is gonna sell for a token. It's either the Peak or Abyssal. Or actually, I mean, he could put one of the items like Tanuk. Okay, this is one gonna, obviously, okay. He's gonna put the Shrunken on Courier. And when he dies, he can get it from the Courier. That would be the most efficient way.
That could be a little risky, though, at the same time, because, you know, if you die like in the midst of a
be.
big fight going on, then you can't really just bank on having the courier delivering you the Shrunken mid-fight, so...
I mean, Courier has shields, and it's nearby.
Yeah. Oh,
and
here we
they
go,
also have
jump. Gladiator, yeah, he's going to be jumping off the bat. A lot of damage, wow! He just melted, and he does not have a buyback. That is a huge pick-off, and we'll see if Mystery King, I mean, they're not necessarily really all out committing here. And I kind of almost think that they figure he has a
They use
buyback.
Shrunkens.
Okay, they do use Shrunkins, but yeah, he's definitely not buying back. Without Gladiator, I mean, their damage potential really goes down the roof. Right here, or the chimney, whatever you want to say. Anyway, Slow Slash is bouncing around. A lot of damage on a Magnus, but not enough for the kill anyways. Kelfid holding Ravener in place. They will kill Cthulhu Font, who got out of position. Moira's Arcane Vortex was just a little misplaced right there. Did not catch it. Now Ravener jumping back in. He's got the 100 charges. He's feeling good. And you can see why. Despite being lower on life, he was confident there that he could win that exchange, and he
now
does.
They could go for Kongor.
And yeah, Kongor is back up. So they don't get the tower kill even, but they do get a couple more hero kills. And now they are going to fall back to Kongor, as you mentioned. Yeah, Gladiator's not out for another 20 seconds here, so.
So the reason why it was scary for them because they didn't know that Gladiator had the buyback. And Ravener used the Shrunken. So if Bubbles jumps in with ulti, Ravener is stuck. He can't escape. And Moira can also set up a perfect Gladi ulti, Gladi Pitfall, whatever, with his ulti. And once again, Gladi has used the Shrunken. I mean, Ravener has already used the Shrunken. So he could have died if they set up the kill and Gladi buys back.
Yeah.
But obviously Gladi didn't have a buyback, but he didn't know that. So.
Oh, look at this. Ravener, he sold the Abyssal Skull and he buys a full-on Behemoth Heart here to work with. They relate to Kongor, so.
Cthulhu has a Ring of Teacher, so I'm guessing he's going to go for Abyssal Skull.
Yeah. Communicating that there. So they didn't even get Kongor out of it either, and this is... So, I mean, as big as that kill was, I mean, sure, it's still obviously a very good kill, but they really didn't get a lot out of it. They didn't even get the base tower, they didn't get a Kongor kill, so it's almost as if it honestly didn't really happen at this rate.
I mean, they did get kills, which is, you know, extra gold. It's always and tower damage. What they could have done is more aggressive wards. I'm not sure when... I'm gonna check. Yeah, that's the old ward in the jungle. But yeah, they pushed up lane, so Luna was free to, you know, roam around the enemy jungle because people were dead. So they could have placed really aggressive wards without getting caught, for example.
Yeah.
So there are definitely objectives which they could have done. But, you know, every little kill matters, obviously. And glad he died, and you don't want to die on a carry because, first of all, you don't farm meanwhile you're dead, and you also lose gold, so...
And now you look at creeps. What am I looking at? Creep kills? I don't know what he's talking about. Oh my god, he has a Snotter Boss! Haha! Nice. He's coming through. Anyways, jump right here. Here we go. Luna going to be caught. Wow, big burst on her. She's dead off the bat. But look at Ravener in the background. He's got a charged hammer now as well. You see the Arcane Vortex going to stall as much as they can, so the Storm Spirit will stop the Swift Slashes as well. The pick off onto Ophelia, and you see Ravener, he doesn't give two shits about Swiftblade being on him. He just basically three-shot the Swiftblade, especially with that spin-ended double tap coming out. For Ganondorf, and the rest are going to fall back, so unfortunately the large Snotter does not come through. And now Kongor is going to fall right here. That will be a token for Ravener, so we'll see if he does what you were talking about, maybe dropping that Shrunken and putting it on the Courier here. Or maybe we'll even just get the token to somebody else. I mean, Ravener is really tanky here. But you couldn't risk that, could you?
I think he should get the token, but he's leaving it. Okay, so it's like, boys.
From Midas? Okay.
I'm OP already, I don't need token.
Yeah.
But sure. Oh, he finished Charge Hammer.
Yeah, I picked that up as well before that.
One play they can make is buy post-hit on Ravenor and save up for the buyback, and then go for Rex. And they should realize that Gladi probably doesn't have a buyback. I mean, he's not farming that fast.
Yeah.
And even if Ravenor dies, he can post-haste back. And then they have a token on a different hero, Midas. So they would most likely win the team fight. I mean, even without the buyback, they would probably win the team fight, but they're just a safe play. So maybe they go for it. Maybe they don't even wait till Ravenor farms a buyback and post-haste. We'll see. His last item, pretty sure, should be Genjuro instead of the PK. That's what most Ravenor players go for.
Yeah. It's still kind of an initiation follow-up, but also just provides a lot more damage. Yeah, that makes sense. With that, say another nearly 4,000 cold already saved up. He is just around the corner from that to being, well, basically full slotted, obviously, at that point.
And Desperation Smoke.
No?
Not really Desperation, but yeah, that's a good play. They need to find a pick-off. They can't take a 5v5 fight.
Yeah. So
if they can find a pick-off or two and delay the push, possibly, you know, so they can never push the base because they find pick-offs. That would be ideal, but, you know, that's really hard to execute. or they try to get behind and try to get a really good initiation, but they're already late. So now they have to run back to base, and they're really late. And that's gonna be a dead tower, or...
Oh, Ravener getting jumped, and he only has 40 charges on him or so not the most, but they're going to start adding up right here. They try to pick off the supporting cast, not going to happen. Swift Slash is bouncing around, doing some decent damage to Ravener, but not nearly enough. The lockdown of Bubbles is real. He goes down. You see Gladiator trying to hold his ground in the background. He eventually gets stunned by something, though, and will be picked off in the end. A hat trick coming up for Ganondorf. I think you're right. The potential, the power right now of Ravener, it is just too extreme. He gets a freaking quad kill, and it's like he just right-clicked a couple times. So there's the Assassin Trowel, but yeah, or hell, the full Conjuro even. But GG, well played. It is going to be official here. About to pause on top of it all. Fun times. But anyways, game one will go to Mystery Gang here when it's all said and done. But, well, once again, we see the potential of a Ravener, especially in the later game. It's strong, man. You got to have ways to deal with it, and as you pointed out, they just really didn't on complexity. So, yeah, with that said, I mean, so really, was it a fault of the draft, you think, from complexity?
Well, there are two different approaches. You counter Ravenor by hero picks, which they didn't do, or you counter Ravenor by, like, playing in a way which is good against Ravenor, which is taking map control.
Yeah.
And that was their option, and they didn't do that. If I have to fault something, then I think Oscar and Fazislav with Moira could have made a bit more plays, maybe, possibly with aggressive wards. But also, I think Ophiel had a slow start due to Tulufant's aggressive man up, switching jungle, whatever.
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, well played by Myst as well. But yeah, definitely, I think the safest option would have been just picking up a good hero against Ravenor, because just looking at the lineup, you probably don't push into a Magnus Midas combination. It's hard to teamfight that. So taking map control could be hard. Of course, you can do that through ganking, but just if you pick up a hero which can deal with Dravenor, would have been a safer choice.
Yeah. Well, we gotta take a short.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta take a short break right here. Obviously, they're just about ready even to start game number 2. So we're gonna have a short break, guys. Game number 1, obviously, going to Mystery Gang there, and that's really good news for them, because that puts them in a very good spot now to at least get the 1 point, of course, possibly 3, and very important, as we're talking about. And I actually got an update for you guys real quickly, too, before we go on this break. Druids versus Strikers Love, very, very important matchup for Druids. They actually lost the first game.